Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Thursday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the upcoming Memorial Day weekend forecast, what you can expect across the area, and what kind of conditions we are going to have. So starting here with the satellite imagery, you can see we got some high clouds clearing out across Western Washington this morning, leaving some areas of low clouds in their wake. You can see some places are sunny, and we have a mix of sun and clouds generally across the area. And that is what we will expect through the day today. Some areas will get sunny again like yesterday, but we'll see as we go through the day today. Taking a look at the radar, you can see we had this weak system moving through the area. Early this morning, we had a little bit of drizzle across parts of Western Washington and parts of Western Oregon as well. Some of those showers moving off into Eastern Washington now, and these are generally some of the last showers we'll see for a few days. Taking a look here at our overall pattern, you can see we have this weak system moving through right now that moves off to the east and diminishes through the day today. Then you can see we're kind of in just a stagnant pattern here, and then take a look at this. We got this ridge building as we go into Saturday, and that is going to continue into Memorial Day weekend. You can see how that we are under the influence of that ridge as we go into Sunday, but with this troughing nearby, it's going to push a lot of high clouds into the area there on Sunday, but we will remain warmer and then dry as well. You can see that ridge amplifies as we go into Monday and Tuesday there. Taking a look at there, you can see by the time we get to Tuesday, we have this large ridge to our north. This should allow us to warm up pretty good there on Wednesday, potentially nearing the 80s across the area, maybe even a little bit warmer. So stay tuned for more on this as we get closer, but this is a setup for Pacific Northwest heat, not a huge heat wave or anything like that, but definitely the warmest days of the year so far when you get this ridge just to the north a little bit right over the Pacific Northwest. That will bring the warm temperatures. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. Taking a look at precipitation forecasts, you can see how we got this weak system moving through the area today, maybe bringing a few showers to some of the mountains at times, and then we just dry out there. We get a few mountain showers as we go through Friday, dry on Saturday, and then on Sunday there's some rain up on Vancouver Island, maybe a few mountain showers, otherwise high clouds and maybe a few scattered low clouds around the mountains, and mostly sunny elsewhere. And then take a look as we go into Monday morning. You see this precipitation across parts of south central Washington and the Oregon Cascades. This is a chance of thunderstorms as we go into early Monday morning, though this will not affect the lowlands at all. You can see that chance of thunderstorms diminishes as we go through the day Monday there, and we get a few showers maybe in the mountains there on Monday. Otherwise, still continuing to be dry all the way to where this forecast ends Tuesday the 27th, but this dry trend will continue after that as well. Taking a look at total precipitation all the way through Tuesday of next week, you can see barely anything for the lowlands, and none of this falls during Memorial Day weekend. And then you can see down around Portland about 1/10 of an inch from that system moving through today. And then you can see the impact of some of those thunderstorms in the morning of Memorial Day there. So heads up if you are going to be camping in some of the south central Washington area or the Oregon Cascades, you could get some thunderstorms that morning as you're packing up to head home on Memorial Day. But we'll keep looking at that again. I'll have another video tomorrow, and we'll take a look at this again. This doesn't really impact Western Washington, but it is something to know for my Western Washington folks who may be going out to some of those areas. Now let's take a look at the temperatures. So today we're looking at highs in the mid to upper 60s, maybe a few places hitting the low 70s across parts of Western Washington, especially Seattle southward. Coast in the mid 50s to low 60s, mid 60s to upper 60s there, areas Seattle northward. Now taking a look at Friday, you can see a very similar trend. Highs in the upper 60s across most of Western Washington, mid to upper 60s Everett northward, upper 50s on the coast, and then around Vancouver and Portland and Chehalis, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Take a look at Saturday, big warm-up as that ridge builds. You can see highs across the region in the mid-70s, upper 60s to low 70s from Everett northward. And then you can see from Olympia southward, you're in the mid to upper 70s, maybe near 80 around Portland, and even on the coast up into the mid-60s. So it's going to be a nice Saturday there. Sunday, we remain pretty similar. The heat builds more in eastern Washington with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Here in western Washington, though, we remain almost exactly the same as Saturday with highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s from Everett northward and the mid-70s from Seattle southward, and then upper 70s and around southwest Washington and Portland, mid-60s again on the coast there on Sunday. We cool down a bit on Monday with some more clouds moving through with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s across the region and in the low 60s on the coast. But take a look as we go into next week. Tuesday, we go back into the mid-70s across the area, upper 70s to low 80s from Olympia southward, mid-60s on the coast. And then take a look at next Wednesday. This forecast is a little bit far out right now, but it is something worth watching. Next Wednesday, we're looking at highs in the upper 70s to low 80s across most of western Washington. And then from Olympia southward, you're looking in the mid-80s, so around Portland pegging at 85 degrees right there. And you can see along the coast in the upper 60s to low 70s. So Wednesday looking like a really nice day across the area next week. So we'll have to keep watching this to see how this heat potential plays out, and you can see we cool down then on next Thursday, but that is looking pretty far out into the extended forecast. So stay tuned for more on that over the next few days here. And then just looking at that temperature outlook, you can see going into next week, chance of above average temperatures and a slight chance of above average precipitation, although that is a little bit debatable. We may not actually get that at all. So yeah, with Memorial Day weekend coming up, I'll do one more forecast video tomorrow, and then I'll be off for the weekend. Be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather on YouTube, and follow me on Blue Sky, on Twitter, and on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group, where you can get all the latest updates, and the links to all of these are in the description of this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.